like about Harm is she makes me laugh.
Yeah. Bullet is goofy. He's just
They're comedians.
and he doesn't understand personal space. He doesn't. It doesn't. I almost flipped off of that because he came running up and just bam. And I'm like, he doesn't understand it.
That's what gets me is, Bart's not that way. He's not much of a clown.
Really?
All of his offspring are just like silly
They're
Willie.
goofy.
Yeah.
Bullet is a goofball.
Are we on the air, Stan?
You said Bart doesn't have a personality?
And he's not a comedian.
How not?
You think he is?
I mean, I think so.
Yeah, Bart's cute. Bart's fun. I love him. I love Bart. I love him. I love his
Yeah, I guess you're right.
personality.
And then he makes every decoy, we laugh at every decoy he works with. I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
Because he
You're right,
takes him
man.
down.
When he freight trains people, we do get a chuckle, don't we? I guess he is a.
He
are we
literally
recording
freight
this?
trains.
Okay.
a minute off.
He'll take down everybody.
Damn.
Like that's what I love about Bart.
Hello, everybody. Stan sneaking up on us, recording when we're just sitting around talking, thinking we're just sitting around talking. So
Because I say the darndest stuff.
hopefully, Carrie didn't say anything to get the YouTube cops on us.
Nah, just talking about Western Shepherds.
Okay, well,
I love him. I love him.
hopefully Carrie didn't say anything to get the YouTube. Call on us.
That's how I roll. I gotta
Well.
catch myself sometimes.
If anybody was listening last week, Stan had a good idea. If you listen to that sport, we did a video, so you know Kate. This is Katie, by the way.
Hi, Katie.
She's
Nice to meet you.
part-time manager, full-time friend, hangs out here a little bit every now and then. Got a Western Shepherd, trains it well, does pretty good with it. Got it for a reason, which is the reason for this podcast. Because last week with Tony Floyd, if you caught that, I think it was a really informative video. And we were talking about the difference between working dogs and sporting dogs. And I made the comment about one of my biggest pet peeves is people that do sports now telling, because they can get a dog to bite a sleeve or a suit or an armpit, they go around telling people they're training protection dogs for the street, when that's really a responsibility. Or at least I take it that way, because there's a potential, if someone's comes to you looking for that type of dog, it means potentially they could be losing property, family member, their own life. So, you shouldn't take your Schutz and ring sport, whatever, trial dog and portray him to people as a legitimate security street dog. And Katie's had first-class experience. She's got Harmony with, in her case, 2 of our Western Shepherds.
2 of the Western Shepherds.
And what's it like living with them, and how quickly did they alleviate the problem that you knew about?
Instant. Instant. We were having major problems with a neighbor, and dangerous problems. And we came to Butch for help and took home a male Western Shepherd that night, Sven. And, we haven't really had any issues since. And I really wasn't keen on getting another dog, but after coming out with my granddaughter and watching the trainings, I ended up getting Harmony. And I'm fully addicted to the Western Shepherds. I've had, I think, basically every breed known to mankind at one time or another. And I'll never have any other dog other than a Western Shepherd. They're smart. You'll never find a smarter dog. Easy to train. They make you laugh because they're full of personality. And you don't have to worry about your family or being safe. I know I used to be really careful because I've always lived really rural and always been, 25 years of being a single mom. If I walked out my back door, I locked my front door. If I walked out the front door, I locked the back door. I really don't even think about that anymore because Harmony's there.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to surprise me anymore.
Right. And what Katie's talking about is she was in a really not safe, not good situation. And we're talking about somebody breaking into the house, sneaking into the house, and trying to get up to no good. So these problems were alleviated, like she said, instantly. And I hear a lot of people talk about, especially in this part of the country, I got guns.
I've got guns too.
There you go. You hear that? And which one would you rather have if you could have one or the other?
Take my dog any day of the week.
And we didn't start this to plug the Western Shepherd. It just happens I had a practical, experienced Western Shepherd owner who'd been through the working dog versus sporting dog situation. So, but, what people don't think about, you may have guns, but especially if you have kids in the house, you got them in a gun closet, locked away somewhere. And you don't know when someone's slipping in your back door. You just don't know. Like Katie, you tell us what gave us the idea for this. She was talking about when she comes home, how she has to,
I've got my yard is 1.5 acres. And if I am unloading feed and parked someplace different in my yard than I usually do, and Harmony doesn't hear me lock my car doors and doesn't hear the beep, when I put the key in the front door, I let Harmony know that it's me, because she hits that front door hard and fast. Especially, I spend most of my life living in flip-flops. If she doesn't hear those flip-flops coming up the front porch, she hits that door really hard. So it's always, Harmony, it's me. Let her know who it is coming in the front door.
And what happens after you say, Harmony, it's me?
Then I hear their tail thumping on the floor.
So that's the beauty of the dog. They're going to hear and know about things that are happening 20, 30, 40 yards outside your house. And you're not going to know about those same things until they're crashing in your front door. So I got the Golden Retriever's here. She's nodding her head back and forth. What do you think, Kara?
I agree with you. Madison, my daughter, sometimes she'll come over after practice or when she used to have practice. And the first thing she does, they hear the garage and they'll stand in the living room and watch to see who's coming in that door. And they're all, especially Bullet. As soon as she opens that door, she flips on a light and announces, she calls all the dogs' names. With Bullet first, because he's my Western Shepherd.
Right.
And she doesn't move until they come around the corner and they see who she is, and then they wag the tail because she knows.
But I'll tell you, there's only been twice when I was in the house with Harmony, and both times were at night, where I've heard her bark. And the first time I didn't pay much attention. I just figured there was a possum on my porch, didn't pay much attention to it. But about a week later, it was just a different bark. You knew something was going on. So I went out my back. She was barking at my front door. So I went out my back door and walked around, and I could hear somebody walking through the dry leaves. So I went back in, opened my front door, and told them they had to the count of 10 to get out of my yard. And then I opened the door and turned Harmony loose. And I could hear them running down my driveway. I keep my gate locked. They didn't bother to open it. I could hear them hit the top of it and clear it. And I really thought I'd lose Harmony that night. But after I heard that gate hit, I called her, told her to out, and called her back to me, and she came running back to me. And I don't think anybody's been in my yard since. So
and
it's worth the time I put into training.
Yeah, it really is.
And there's if any of you go back to the dark ages of dog training in America, and you thought you were going to do protection dogs, guard dogs, we used to generally call them, then you're familiar probably with the Kohler, William Keeler method of dog training. Mr. Keeler he's probably I don't know if you say the first, but also the only American dog trainer to make like an international splash, right? And I'm not going to talk about his methods one way or the other, because a lot of people have different feelings about it. But he did a book on guard dog training, because he was the main consultant for the U.S. military after World War II to train their Canine Corps. And he told a story. I don't know whether it's true or not. He's pretty good spinning yarns, I think. But he said somebody had told him something about they'd take a gun any day of the week. So he said, he offered him a challenge. I forget the amount of money, but he said, I'll tell you what you do. I got a cabin way out here in the woods. I will give you 1 bullet and I will take 1 dog. And you sit on your front porch at 10 o'clock at night with your 1 bullet and see if you can shoot me before I reach you on the porch. And if you don't shoot me, then you go out in the woods and I'll sit on the front porch with my 1 dog and see if I can stop you before you get on the porch. The gentleman did not take up his offer. So.
Wouldn't have been much of a contest.
No, it wouldn't have been. So, you know, and those are a lot of things we don't think about. If you may have a gun, but if you're shooting in pitch black darkness.
Right.
Well, not only that, but who's to say you're going to get to your gun before that guy gets to you? Because like you said, if someone creeps in the door, they're real quiet. You can't hear them. My dogs can't.
That's right. That's
If
right.
you get past my dogs, then you're going to get shot.
Right.
But, I mean, 9 times out of 10, someone sees a dog, they're leaving.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Especially our dogs.
Why they're screaming like girls.
Oh, they're screaming like girls.
Yeah, so I prefer a dog over a gun. I mean, we have both, but...
Yeah, most people do. You know, but it's every 10 years the FBI does a what do you call it? They go to prisons and they talk to thieves, and they, you know, information about how they break into houses, if there's a modern technique or technology, what keeps them from going into people's houses, what's the biggest deterrents, things of that nature. And these are old stats. This is from when I had my security company, because security companies and police departments use this information, and security companies like mine we would use this information for sales stuff and things like that. And every time if I ask someone, what do you think the biggest deterrent is, what keeps a person from breaking into your house? Of course, everybody, because it's me, says, well, dogs, of course, and that is not the number one deterrent.
What is it?
The number one deterrent is light. Because the last thing a burglar wants to do is be discovered. The second thing is noise. And what does a dog do? He barks. So consistently, and this was the 1990 survey that I was reading from the FBI, consistently a dog is the number 2 biggest deterrent to any professional thieves. Now, you know, some of the reason that FBI does this every 10 years is because things change, technology changes, and unfortunately, people and the kind of punks that break into people's houses have changed in the last 20 years too. Now you got people who don't care if you get caught; they just kick in the door and go to shoot. So it's you know, it's a whole new way to do it. But once again, it's a lot harder for them to shoot with the Western Shepherd hanging off their forearm.
That's true.
You know, and you ain't gonna aim if that dog's jumping right for your face.
Yeah.
So, and that's where, getting back to what was supposed to be the original topic, that's where proper training comes in.
Was that our topic?
It's supposed to be.
Oh, was that our topic? Oh, because I got confused there too.
Living with a working dog versus a sport dog was supposed to, yeah. So,
More or less.
I thought
You know.
Western Shepherds are awesome. I thought that was the topic.
Pretty amazing dogs.
They are.
but I'll point out one to get back to the difference between the people that are training on a sport for a sport, and they're great trainers. They train great dogs, highly intelligent dogs. What they get them to do is truly amazing. It's just a different discipline. It's got a whole different goal. And one of the biggest things you're going to see is in French ring or ring sports, they're going to be going to bite for a leg. They teach a dog to target. The last thing you want on the street is a dog that targets.
Our dogs have street smarts.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it. It's a very good
They
way to
do.
put it. And that's why I say it's hard to aim your gun when you got a Western Shepherd coming mouth, or a German Shepherd, or a Rottweiler, or any of the properly trained dogs. Because we train dogs to hit high center mass, just like you teach cops to shoot. So, Katie's grinning because she loves it.
Harmony loves it.
Harmony loves it. So, anyway, I guess we went and beat this dead horse completely down.
You said you had a lot of...
Uh-oh, they're coming after you, Stan.
I'm gone.
I told you not to.
So you said you had a lot of different dog breeds. How do you think they compare to the Western Shepherd?
The only dog that I've ever had that came close to being as smart as a Western Shepherd was an Australian Shepherd. Great dog. And Lord, I've had some really stupid dogs in my lifetime. Really nice dogs, good family dogs, but really dumb. And Harmony, I mean, I'd heard great things. I'd certainly watched a lot of great things with the Western Shepherds. But I don't think, in fact, I know Butch wasn't really happy when I said I was taking her home and trying her out. And Harmony really didn't know much of anything the night that I took her home. And she was so funny, and she seemed to adjust really fast to our family and was just happy. Big change in 24 hours. And then, you know, and I'm not a dog trainer, not by any stretch of the imagination. But, you know, within 3 days, she was doing sit, stay, heel, would come when I called her. She was so smart, certainly smarter than I was about dog training.
She's a dog. She's got experience.
She's got experience. And I would call Butch if I ran into an issue, and it was like, oh God, that was so simple. Why didn't I think of that? You know, amazing, absolutely. If you can't tell, I am a Western Shepherd fan, and I'll never go back.
Say the last part again.
I'll never go back. Anything. It's all about Western Shepherds now. Absolutely the smartest, best dogs. You know, good family dogs. They can be a couch potato with you if that's what you want. But you don't have to, you know, you come out and you do some training with Butch, and your family is safe. You're safe when you go to the gas station. You're safe when you go to the office. You really just, there is no more worry.
And just like Katie said, you know, she'd run into a problem. She'd call me. She'd say, oh, that was simple. Why didn't I think of that? It's just, I excel at very simple things. That's
It was, God, it's true.
I'm really good
too.
at simple.
And I'd kick myself for it's like, God, really, you should have thought of that. You know? So obvious.
It's the little simple things that make a huge difference.
Make a huge difference.
And I'm glad Butch knows all of them.
And shares them with us.
Yes, because it makes life living with the dogs so much easier.
Dang, here comes another one.
Something happened.
Shit, they're going to take Stan and Jamil this time.
Carrie's the ringleader. What you mean? Snitching.
No,
Snitching's cool now. So.
no, it's not.
Well, if the siren hadn't drowned us out, I guess we'll. This is
I
more
don't
fun than I
make
thought
you
it
follow
would be.
me. You want to follow me.
Because you're a good pack leader.
That's right.
They don't
Carrie's
need
new
us.
title.
It's Carrie's new title. Yeah.
All right,
Never a
well,
dull moment here. Never
close
a dull
out.
moment.
Tell them to subscribe. All that good stuff.
Oh yeah, Stan's favorite mantra: like, click, share, subscribe. Is that correct?
Something like that. It works. We'll work on it.
And remember, anything you want to know about dogs, this is the place you come for the information.
Because if you ain't having fun,
You ain't training dogs.